Hello, good afternoon, traders. This is Baja Pips. Today I'm going to be breaking down several pairs. This is the weekly technical breakdown. It's currently Monday, April 24th, 2023, 11:17 a.m. in China. And I'm going to get started with this weekly breakdown. So, first and foremost, I want to start off with the pair AUD NZD, Euro USD, UCAD, GJ, and USDCHF. I'm going to do all of this basically leaving off where I started from the previous weekly breakdown. And I also added on a few pairs, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to break down each of these one by one, and hopefully I can be able to fit this into one video. This video is going to be a little bit longer because I just want to get everything all in one video and not multiple videos stretched out. So if you have the time to watch this, here we go. If you don't have the time to watch this, just watch little parts of it, save it, and continue to follow up with this video until you complete it. It's very important and crucial in my swing trading analysis. I always have a weekly breakdown because you have to have a plan in order to successfully trade. If you don't have a plan, you're looking at pairs that are not on your watch list, you're going to run across a lot of problems. So this is part of my process. I want to get started off with the USDCHF. Last week, I actually put this on my Twitter. I have a private Twitter feed. It's not necessarily private, but I'll release the information on that in maybe the next forthcoming weeks or months. Right now, it's just basically between close friends and professional colleagues of mine. I'm trying to do something a little bit different from Instagram. Instagram, there's a lot of imposters and a lot of mess going on, and it's not necessarily the most professional platform to showcase your trades. So I transitioned to Twitter as of recently, but we'll get more into that later. On the daily time frame, you can see the USDCHF. Yes, this is my real account. I can go to Control T so I can show y'all the previous day. This was all from Friday. This was all my orders that I took on Friday, and you can see that the timestamp is on the left, so you can see I actually do take these trades. The lot sizes, my risk to reward, the pairs that I am trading in this video, everything is documented for you. And this says the total P&L profit is 65.16. Yes, because I'm just breaking even on this account. As you can see, it's 49,269. I started off with 50,000. I had a rough start because I was scalping on this account and I was just getting my scalping together. I started scalping about a year ago, and I am at the point now where I'm seeing proficiency and consistency in my results. So that's a great and exciting part of my journey right now. So I'll definitely follow up with y'all and share more of that later on in another video. But this is the account I'm using, and I just wanted to highlight everything just before I get started, just so you can see that I am actually taking the trades that I do project on my weekly breakdowns, and I'm not just saying something and not actually following through with my word. So with all that disclaimer ahead, let's get started. I'm gonna reduce that size. And yes, on the USDCHF, I did post that the USDCHF was in a bear trend for the year. We can clearly see that right here. When I do draw this trend line, we can see that the market has been going on down on a pretty heavy descent. We recently came out of a consolidating range in which we had high sellers from January, which is the beginning of this year. They got stopped out and taken out. Now the market should have continued on up from that point, but unfortunately the sellers did not. The sellers actually came back in, and it was a fake out at these highs. The way you can tell that it's a fake out is when I draw this at the highs. These were the previous highs back in December 2022, and the market was already coming from a huge crash. So this was more of a continuation trade, and between December and March, it was just a period of uncertainty. So I was not really interested in this pair until recently. But as of the beginning of March, we did see something unexpected, and that was a huge drop to the downside. Um, this was more or less probably fundamental than technical, because if it was technical, we would just see a quick move. This was more of a strong move with a follow through push. So we actually went and we faked out the sellers from early in the year. and we attracted buyers. Now we're grabbing liquidity at these highs, and price actually drove back down and took out those buyer stops. So we're still in a range at this point. Of course, the range is large enough to trade on an intraday basis, but if you're long terming it, then you're looking at more of a longer term approach to this trade. So as we can see, price did drop and drive out of the lows of this range. So they faked out sellers, they accumulated buyers, and then they stopped out every single buyer that was in this zone. So that's a strong, strong confluence for me when I'm reading price action. And because of that, we do see prices starting to move on to the downside. Now, this move to the downside is not just a bluff. This is a strong move to the downside because we actually moved the market. The market actually moved a good percentage, and because of that, it we have buyers that did attempt to come and take price back on up, but they're extremely weak. So as of a couple of days ago, at the end of last week, I did have USDCHF on my watch list because I did see a signal to go short. Now, it's very hard to really see at this point unless you were already short a few weeks ago. But for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm definitely looking for sells on the daily time frame. And if I'm gonna short it on the daily time frame, you could definitely have like 100 pip stop loss. And I would go for like a 250 to 300 pip target. So around 0.86243 is gonna be the next area of profit taking for me if I'm doing a long term approach. Now, those of you that know my type of trading, I actually do shorter term trading, so I can look and read the macros, but I can also follow along and have better entries on the smaller time frame. So I'm gonna get into that in just a moment. So there, you already know that we're going for about 250 to 300 pips profit target. Could be shorter depending on what the market gives, but I am projecting that drop. Now, that is a macro approach. So anything that happens on the hourly time frame, it should not really affect the long term that much because it is just the hourly time frame, meaning that it has its own narrative, but it still follows along with the longer term. So when we're doing proper top-down analysis, we could actually see that price has been going in a period of consolidation from the 17th to the 24th of April. Now, I did get into this short. Like I said, it's currently the 24th right now. So about 3 days ago on the 21st, in the between the 20th and the 21st, I actually did get into some sales, but the market didn't really take off that much. I collected about 50 pips before my trailing stop was triggered. So I was in a trade right above. You can see right here, actually, USDCHF. Where is that at? Right here, I had a 0.80 and I got in at 0.89366, and this was on the 21st. So let's just go back to that on the 21st, which is right here. I got in around this area, as y'all can see, and it got down to about 45 pips. I was able to manage to trail my stop loss to break even, a little bit more than break even. As you can see right here, I collected some profits, but my trailing stop was hit at 0.89268. Like I said, I'd like to show this timestamp so I could show proof of the trades, and it makes sense. I don't know why no one else, there's a lot of people actually do trade properly, and we're very transparent. I just believe in, if I'm sharing the truth and teaching people, it's gonna come back and it's gonna help me. So yeah, this is in front of you right here, the USD trade that I took, and yeah, I got my trailing stop hit, but I did have a farther target, as you can see, 0.88071, which is actually down here. So I was actually aiming for just the intra-week target. So that was about a 140 pip target that I was aiming for, but price did not reach it yet because the weekend happened, for one. And for two, I don't like holding trades over the weekend. And for three, my broker won't allow me to. I'm currently doing the FTMO account, and it's not the FTMO swing. So I'm not allowed to hold trades over the weekend. So I actually did just have a tight stop, but my long-term bias is still towards the downside on this pair. So I'm gonna show y'all in front of you in real time. As you can see, the ticker is moving. It's moving back and forth. Right now, I don't know what's going on with my broker. I'm currently in a different room, so my service may not be fully activated right now. I want to just double check, make sure that my Wi-Fi is working. Just a moment. Everything here, like I said, is just fresh in front of you. So I don't have anything to hide. I'm gonna change the server just because it doesn't really seem like it's active right now. So just a moment. It's saying common error. So let me just here we go. Here we go. Now it's moving. Like I said, I like to be transparent. Everything is truthful in front of you. Even the losses, you can see. I did take some losses, but they were small, very minor losses. When you're in the professional leagues, losses happen. They're a part of the game. Charge it to the game, but we keep moving forward. So, like I said, this is gonna be a long video, so be prepared. I'm gonna do part one of the video, part two of the video, and part three of the video throughout this entire duration. So I'll let y'all know when I'm shifting to the next pair. So let's finish up USDCHF. So that's where I got out. So in this video, I want to show y'all in real time where I plan on entering this trade, and I'm going to actually place the orders in front of you. So we recently had a nice solid run on to the upside. This is more of a trend continuation trade for me. It was just a counter move, and I knew that it was a fake out because price did not really break above April 13th highs, and I was waiting for a nice solid push above those highs before I look for some sort of entry, and that did not happen. We just see that price kind of congested around those highs. That was indicating that the buyers are not as strong as they looked prior to that 100+ pip run. So to me, that was once again accumulating buy orders, and I was watching for a potential shift to the upside, but price did not shift on up. And instead, we have a huge period of consolidation, and that's where I actually got into my short because I saw a nice move downwards. And as we can see right now, price is currently undergoing some stretch of consolidation. Now, that's not going to last for long, but I'm not fully bearish just yet. What I like to see, because this is just consolidating. I like to see a thrust on downwards on the hourly and then some sort of pullback into this week. This right here is definitely solid. It looks like price started getting weak, and that's not really a good thing. Now, maybe I can get an entry in the 5 minute time frame because the dominant move is still down. So this is not really a range. So that's actually a tradable environment to me. You can't really see it on the hourly, like I said. And if I were just to market order this right now, my stop loss would actually be about 45, 50 pips. And that's too much for me. So I want to actually get out of this if price does not work out in my favor sooner because I want to maximize my gains. I want to maximize my reward and get to that 0.8614 line. And by the way, that area is actually, where is it at? 0.8614. Let me go back to this real quick on the hourly so y'all can see. 0.8614, that's what it says, right? Yes, 0.8614. I can't really see it on the weekly, but you can see on the weekly time frame. I forgot to show you all this, but yeah, you can see that we are very bearish. Like, look at this. It's a straight drop. You don't want to buy falling knives, and we're looking to take out 0.877 and get to 0.8694 and below. So we're looking actually to get even further, 300 plus pips right there. And there we go, 0.8. I don't know, my broker kind of reset, so it didn't show my line right there. But yeah, you can see the targets is aiming for November 2020 lows. That's the yearly lows past 12 months, and it makes very obvious sense. Same thing on a weekly. We went up, we started accumulating buy orders, and we started dropping on down, and that's pretty much it for there. So I want to go back into the hourly just to show y'all where I'm potentially going to enter on. So we see that price is dropping. We see we're on a strong downtrend. It's following suit with the trend line. Use everything in your trader's arsenal that you can in order to project the proper targets. So I'm going to take this line right here. I'm going to put it on the previous support line. So as we can see, that was previous areas of support last week on April 14th. Price did not revisit that area until the 20th. On the 20th, we had a fake out to the upside and we had a break to the downside. Unfortunately, price faked out again and possibly took out some potential sellers. So that's a red flag on the hourly time frame. That's why I said I'm not looking to enter a short based off of this unless I see a stronger move on down. But these buyers are in trouble, and that is at least a 50 pip drive. If these buyers are in trouble, these buyers are holding up these buyers. So I do expect 50 to 100 pip drop downwards. And Right now, we are still dropping on the hourly. I do see a nice potential trigger on this hourly time frame. But like I said, if you're not understanding my system or my trading strategy, you don't know what I'm doing. So I might have to break it down even further. I have my entries on the 5 minute because the 5 minute is optimal for me. I can have the smallest stops, and I scalp on the 1 minute, so I don't swing trade off of that. I just scalp. But 5 minute is pretty much my entry time frame. For those of you that don't know, so in all of my videos, I have daily 1 hour, 5 minute, and that's just pretty much how I run it. We see that it's just an area of uncertainty right here. I do not want to enter anything right here unless I see the lows of 0.89064 broken, and that's gonna be at least 17 pips away. Now, even when those lows are broken, my stop loss has to be in the middle of this range. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that I have to have probably like a 25 pip stop loss. And to me, that's a good swing. Now, once I'm into this trade though, I'm gonna actually look to take price maybe further down, but I also want to trim my stop loss. So this pair right now, we're just in just too much congestion. And for me to take this short, I need to see the lows of 0.89 or 0.88998. I need to see those lows taken out before, because it's gonna invalidate these buyers that faked on up, and then you're able to put a nice solid stop loss in the middle of this range. This is not my most optimal entry, so because of that, I'm gonna risk a little bit less, and that's because, like I said, because it's not the most optimal entry. I'd rather be able to enter after seeing a break and a solid pullback, but unfortunately, that's not happening in this video. And if I want to get into the swing, because it's following up with previous sells from last week, I already can see, like I said on the hourly, that I'm getting triggered in. So according to my strategy, I'm already permitted to enter a sell. But like I said, if I enter a market order sell right now, then my stop loss has to be way bigger, like 50 pips. And I don't want that. So right now, I'm actually gonna show y'all in front of you where I'm gonna place my sell order, and I'm just gonna wait and see, and I'll follow up with this trade. So I'm gonna do a 0.50 just to get started. Stop loss is gonna be about middle of this range, because if it does get too high on up, I don't want it. So 0.893, 0.893 is gonna be my stop loss. You can see I'm gonna put a pending order right there, and take profit is gonna be at, oof, this 5 minute doesn't even look realistic on the 5 minute because it's so far away. 0.8614. So 0.8614, and I'm actually gonna put a sell stop order on this, and my sell stop entry now. I gotta bring this back on out. My sell stop entry is gonna be 0.8998. So we're gonna put 0.8998 right here, and you see everything is ready to be executed, and I'm going to place the order. It says invalid stop loss, so I must have put something wrong. 0.89310. Okay, just a moment. Let's just do 299. 0.861. Okay, 0.89. 1 sec. 889. I'm sorry, I can't read that. My eyeballs are just hurting from reading these charts so much. There we go. And that is going to be about a 31 pip stop loss, and that's 178 that I'm risking, which is about 0.25% of my account. So I like that. I always advise starting off small. You can always risk more and add more to your trade as it goes in your favor. But that is pretty much sums up the USD CHF pair. I'm gonna get into the next pair. Like I said, this is gonna be a long video, but hopefully it's informal. I'm only gonna do one of these, but you can see my profit target is ridiculous on this. It's 1591 USD if that gets hit. So that's about a 10-to-1 reward to risk ratio. I love swing trades because it's possible to get these. Now the thing is, I may get stopped out before this happens, so I'll be trailing my stop loss. Now, that's why when I go on Instagram and I go on these other pages, I'm a little concerned because traders or people that assume they're traders, they want to say that they're traders, they want to say that they're professional, but at the same time, they're not using stop losses. These are some of the most important tools to use in the market. And if you're not utilizing a stop loss, something's going on with you. So This is my order. This is not my greatest entry. Like I said, I rather a break pullback and then I could find the entry. But we already had the break. This would technically be the pullback. We can see the fake out. And yeah, if I'm swing trading, I'm not going to be monitoring the pair every hour. So that's why I have these type of entries sometimes. But as the week goes on, I'll find better entries with better reward to risk. On average, I would like to risk half of this. So normally I like to risk about 15 to 20 pips max for my swing trades. So this one is 31.9 pips. Like I said, it's a little bit larger, but it's definitely within my criteria. Like I said, we take out these lows. There's no way I'm expecting price to climb back up into this range, and if it does, then I'll act accordingly. Let's do an if-then scenario because I'm not just offensive, I'm also defensive. So, like I said, this is a longer video, but I hope you're taking note. So, as you're being defensive in this market, you're gonna see possibly not everything is guaranteed. So this may not work out. If it does not work out, I'm gonna get stopped out, and then I'll be in a period of uncertainty. Now, when I'm in this period of uncertainty, I need to have a plan so I'm not just trading off of revenge or off of fear or greed. So, as of right now, that is my initial trade. But we could always have black swan events. We could always have high impact news, anything that can happen that can shift the market's sentiment for the week. So, to be prepared for that, I'm actually going to look at some resistance areas above and explain to y'all where I plan on going long if we're actually going to keep on going up. I don't plan on going long until the highs of 0.99034 gets broken. So if I do get stopped out, I'm going to be in a period of uncertainty for about a 100 pip range. As we can see, there's a 100 pip range right here between entry and that resistance. So that's going to be my period of uncertainty that I'm not really willing to take any type of trades on the swing trading unless I'm intraday trading or day trading. I don't want to swing this. So unfortunately, I'm going to be kind of sitting on my hands and I'm going to be sitting it out in this area if I get stopped out until I see a further breakdown below back outside of this range, or if price does continue climbing up, knock out these highs right here, which are the old buyers and current sellers. It's going to tell me there's a shift and we probably are going to be moving northbound to these highs right here. And I think if we're going that far up and this is a fake out to the lows, we should more than likely take these highs on out and get about 180 pips north to 0.91821. So that's going to be the next area I mark up right here, is that we should be seeing these highs taken on out if we have a reversal in the markets. So now when we go to the daily time frame, this makes sense because that's going right back into the previous old range. And like I said, that at that point I need to take profit because hey, we could continue on up or we can reverse back to the downside, but I can't tell the future. It's not a predictive analysis, this is reactive. And that's all I have for USDCHF. So I have my orders in. We're going to follow up with this throughout the week. Hopefully this makes sense. Let's move on to the next pair. I'm going to take a drink break and I'm going to flip the switch. So that's all set. You can see my order is now in the trade window right here. The USDCHF sales stop is underway and I do plan on taking this as some profit targets. So let's move on. I want to do GJ next, but I like UCAD. This is the pair that I actually been. So I'm back. So this is the pair that I've actually been really, really great on last week. It made up the majority of my swing trading profits last week. We can see the UCAD, where the moves at. UCAD right here for 145. I had another UCAD for 83, and I had another UCAD for 108. So that made a good chunk of my profits at the end of the week. And I'm gonna follow up on this. I got into UCAD, my first UCAD trade. Where is it at? It's, 832. It looks like eight. This was 928, and then this one over here was 1401. So 832. This was the first UCAD trade. 1.35086. So we're gonna go 1.35086. No, that's a closing price. I apologize. Hold on. 1.35. Apologies for that, y'all. I'm just trying to check up on this. 1.35086. Like I said, this is all in front of you, raw price action reading. Like I'm doing this because it's just I don't care. Like, I'm showing y'all what I'm really doing. Um, okay, 1.35, 320. That was before. I don't know why these timestamps. This is probably my first one right here. Um, it's just looking weird. 17. Okay, this was at 11:10, 11:10, 17. So I don't know why this is like that, but this is showing the 21st at 14:01, which is later in the day, but for some reason this is an earlier entry. I don't know. So 1.35, 320. So we're gonna go to that area. 35. Yeah, I mean, I was able to take it on up about 77 pips, and this was following up with a trade that I originally bought this pair from the previous weekly analysis. So you can actually go back to that video from last week's technical breakdown on Usdcad. You can see I actually broke this whole pair down. I was actually northbound and I was trying to take out the highs of 1.3068. Now we're not even there yet. We're actually still very bullish, and the market has shown me a positive swing to the upside. So I actually want to look for continued longs in this pair, and that's going to be the next part of the breakdown. So let's move on. Let's move forward. I want to drag these lines out the way until we need them, and let's break this one down one by one. So we have this resistance right here. This is the monthly resistance, April 10th. As we can see, this is the high of the month. Now, this is the first time price has actually visited the monthly highs in the past month. So a lot is happening in this area. We can reject these highs and we can go on to the downside, but we need to see sellers step in. As of right now, the sellers that try to step in end of the week got wiped out. They got faked out. It was a fake out to lows. So I actually got my trailing stop hit. Like I said, the weekend happened, and as of the past several hours, because the market opened up about 6 hours ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can see by the price action, it's telling us price action is king. 6 hours ago, market gapped down and popped back on up. So we are seeing a continued run to the upside, and this is strong bullish buying pressure. So on the hourly, we can't see anything forward. So that's just a red flag. That means that we're either going to continue driving on up, or I'm going to trim my stops aggressively as we continue to rise. But I am still bullish. So let's look at the daily, and we can see that that shift did happen. We knocked out these sellers, which was a fake out originally at the beginning of the month. We faked out to the south side, and we knocked those sellers out. So now we're accumulating buy orders, but this is a lot of buying strength. You see the past several days, we've seen nothing but straight push forward and almost a vertical move upwards. So in this move right here, I do suspect price to continue on up. You see 182.28. I suspect price to go on up at least another 100 to 200 pips. And we're going to go into this zone right here. To me, it's very readable as long as they continue this vertical run, but nothing is linear in the market. So I do suspect price to maybe consolidate, maybe pull back or whatever. Best case scenario, we can just go up here in 1 or 2 days. Worst case scenario is that it's going to drop back on down and come back into this range and form some sort of top and go back to the downside. I don't know, but I'm definitely not selling this. This is not a bear market. I repeat, this is not a bear market, no more. The bear market was there and it ended. So we have a shift in the dynamic. The magnitude of the market has shifted back to the upside. So that's just my own breakdown on this on the daily. So like I said, we could aim as high as these guys. I don't know. It could go up 300-400 pips. I don't know what's going on in the U.S. economy, but we could just have a period of movement up, and then it could just crash on down and knock out all these sellers. But this is a very strong signal because, as we can see, there were people that actually did try to take the price on down in January and they failed. February they failed, and every time they failed, they moved on back up. And recently, in the beginning of April, they took it down and they failed again. So this is in a big, giant range. It's going nowhere on the daily as of right now. So we can just continue to mess around in this range for a little bit longer, or we can continue on up, or we can just fake out, come up to the highs. There's a lot of variations, but I'm not worried about that. That's analysis paralysis. And in this video, I'm going to show y'all where I'm going to enter on the hourly. So I have my target set, and it's very far away. So I'm not really worried about getting out of this trade anytime soon. I call this trade a runner. So there's different type of market conditions that I actually trade. There's uncertain market conditions where I'm like, I'll take a trade, but I'm gonna trail this aggressively because the dynamics could shift. Then there's type of market conditions where I'm gonna actually be willing to go stronger because I see a strong trend, such as this one. And then there's market conditions I'm gonna sit out where I'm just like, absolutely not gonna take anything. That was AUD NZD at the end of last week. It was an uncertain market condition, and I actually wanted to sit out, but I'm gonna get to that later. UCAD though, let's look at UCAD. So this is the next pair I'm gonna break down. As we can see, price is moving on up on the hourly. Like I said, for those of you that are visually blind, I'm gonna draw this trend line right here. I just got a magic mouse, so I'm gonna be able to left click on. I don't know how to left click, so I can't delete this unless it's gonna delete everything. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna move this trend line. I'm just gonna show y'all where the previous downtrend was actually. I'll make use of this trend line actually, right there. So this was a previous downtrend, as we can see right here, and that really didn't really go anywhere. And we can see that we've been moving on up on a strong bullish run ever since. Draw this, try to make it as precise and accurate as possible. So yeah, and whenever a price is like kind of floating away from the trend line and not even bouncing back, that's a very strong sign that is extremely bullish, because it should bounce off the trend line respectively and continue on up. But this just bounced off in the 18th of April and kept on going. So that's a lot of buyers. That's very strong for bulls. So I might add this into a future course of mine, how to utilize how I use trend lines, but I use them as just a small indicator just to see the strength of a trend. It really has no significance in my analysis at all. It's just an extra confluence. The more confluence, the better. If you know how to read an indicator, that's good. But yeah, so we have a fake out to the lows. We have a push on up higher. I don't really foresee this going on too high up, but it could even pull back. We don't know. There's the London session, US session coming up. Like I said, these moves I'm actually going to trail aggressively because depending on the news and the sessions, we could see more buyers hop in, but people are not reading the markets in Asian session like I am right now. There's going to be people that see, maybe there's the professionals that actually got in, that have been in since last week. That was me, but I had to close out. So I'm looking to get back in. And we're going to be able to push price higher. And my entry, like I said, is going to be outside of this little area right here. I'm going to show y'all on the 5 minute. We're going to be able to push price on up higher, and then we're going to have more retail crowd, like people that hop in during the US and London Open. I actually scalped the London Open, so that's a whole nother chunk of traders. So there's going to be different groups of traders that are going to see the market after it happens. So I don't scalp UCAD, but if I did, then I would see that as a bullish run, and I'll be trading accordingly to my session. And maybe scalpers that are high volume traders, because we have tighter stops, so we're able to trade like for example on UCAD I have standard on my swing trade 1, but on Euro USD, which is the time frame I scalp, I have a 7 lot because I trade higher volume because I have 2 to 3 pip stop losses on my scalps. And I literally I don't use any bigger stop loss than 3 pips on my scalp and time frame. So nowadays, when you see me scalp, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, he's scalping with 3 pips. How is he doing that?" Because I'm a seasoned scalper. I've been doing this. I does this, so I'm comfortable with using 3 pip stop losses. I'm not comfortable with using 10 pip stop losses on a 7 lot on the 1 minute chart on the Euro USD, because that's not what I do. As you can see, the whole sentiment is different. It's a different story. So I'll get to that in another video. Let's continue on with the UCAD. So right now we are seeing a nice shift on up. The thing is, we had a small little pullback on the hourly a couple hours ago, and we have a nice continuation run. So that's going to be the first little area that I'm going to take a look at right now, just so I can see if I were to get into this right now. It's about a 22 pip stop loss. This is a really, really great opportunity to buy, but I'm not going to do a market order. So you're going to see the difference between the USDCHF and the UCAD pair that I'm breaking down right now. I might actually do this into 2 videos just because I want to just keep my videos under 30 minutes. I don't want this to go on over an hour. I know y'all ain't gonna watch this. Like, I don't even get that much views. Like, people are, for some reason, people don't want to trust my analysis, even though I've been killing it since 2016. Like, literally, all my trades I posted on my IG, I posted on my Discord. I post my trades, and I've been killing it on the swing trading. But people just, I don't know. It's just the mentality of the herd. They just, when you're trying to show them something, people just don't care. Like, unless you're a big name or you're selling them some dream, they don't. People don't care. They want to take shortcuts. This is not a shortcut. This is real. But let's get back to it. So the market cap down, and we had a period of congestion. Now this is uncertainty because price has not really done much in the past few hours, as we can see, moving into this day. It has not, but this is the 24th right here. Right here, we gapped down, and the gap down failed, and we have succeeded to the upside. We even tried to bring it back into the range, and it failed, and it's continuing. I'm bullish. There's no reason why I would sell this. Like, if you're selling this, you're basically trying to hope, and you're more goal oriented than process oriented. One very important quote that you should take note of is that trading has to be process oriented, not goal oriented. So therefore, you should trade based on the process, not the goal. So you might have a goal, but if that goal is not met, you don't want emotions and you don't want to keep trading based off of your goal. In life, we are taught to trade. We're taught to follow our goals and make sure we complete our task and our goals. But in trading, it's different. We don't need to complete our goals because sometimes our goals are just dreams that are not fulfilled. You have to trade based on the market conditions, and you don't want to bend over to the market to win just to be right. You have to accept losses. So it's just different mindset in trading than it is in real life. So I just want to just take that little off topic real quick, and let's get back on topic. So we are seeing a nice uptrend right here. I can see these trends like with in an instant. Like, it's I've been using trend lines for 10 years, over 10 years now. This right here is the current resistance that we are currently testing right here. This right here has been the previous support that we were testing. We just found our ways outside of this range, but it's so dangerous to take market orders at during Asian session. It's extremely dangerous. I'd rather wait for these highs to be taken out. This is what I like about swing trading. And scalping, this is not real. In scalping, I wouldn't just buy it based off a high taken out. But swing trading, we have different traders in different groups that come into the market with their own systems and strategies. And it's actually highly probable to buy off of highs and sell off of lows. But like I said, in scalping, it's a different game. So you can't really do the same, unfortunately. But I'm looking to take price on up farther. We can hit 1.35755 and continue forward. That, and then my stop loss will go middle of this range, so it'll be about 40 pips. So that's kind of wide for me, unfortunately. I don't really like taking 40 pip stop losses. So personally, I would like to have a break and pull back and retest, and then I'll be able to go on up. But when I do take these type of trades, I leave this type of room as a buffer because anything can happen in between. And when I do check back into the markets later in the day, as the day goes on, the trading day goes on, that's when I'll be able to arrange my trailing stop, and I'll actually be able to reduce this by half once the London session gets underway. So that's a great thing about my swing trading. So it'll start off with about 40 pips, but I'll be able to drag it maybe, honestly, realistically, I don't want anything past here. So if I am buying it based off of right here, I'm taking about 30 pip stop loss. So you can see my new entry right here. I'm going to put my exit, and I'm going to get ready to enter this trade order. And periodically move on higher. So I just want to see it just show me that there is more buyers stepping in. So the only way I could really lose this trade is if there's a mean fake out to the upside. Like I said, I'm already getting triggered in, but it's too congested right here. If you market order it, there's a chance that you can get faked out before it moves on up. Anything can happen. This is a lot of manipulation. It's Asian session. Just be aware of that. But this is my trade. Stop loss, entry, and profit target. So I'm gonna place all this right now. New order, USDCAD, pending order, and I'm gonna end the video after this so I can get into my last pairs. It's like I said, I planned on having a one whole video, but you can see how I do this. Like this is like very, there's a lot of information, and I want to break it down into segments. So these two pairs on this one. I'm gonna do another one right after this on the next two pairs. This is actually me preparing for my trading day, in front of y'all. So hey, it's a little treat for the world that is actually watching my trades. This is really like how I'm getting in. I don't have anything to hide, y'all. Like I trade, you know. I love trading. It's a passion of mine, and I don't mind sharing it with people because I don't have any secrets. I'm not a salesman, and every professional trader we're just like that. We're like we don't have any secrets. Like if you want to learn from us, I do offer like private coaching on the side occasionally throughout the year. I might open up some slots and help people, but I just teach them what I learned and what I know. I don't really have a secret sauce. It's just, hey, this is how I trade. This is my risk management. This is my strategy. This is what I look for. And I might teach y'all just follow up with you and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's it. But yeah, nothing crazy, no holy grail. It's just hey, you want to learn how to be on the right side of the market, hit me up. But let's get back to this 1.35404. It's going to be my stop loss. Profit target is way out here, but I'm going to get to that in just a second. Ooh, look at this. Beautiful, right? Can't even see it. 1.37953. And this may not even hit the target, but that don't matter. In trading, we don't care if it hits the target or not. It's just how far away from a stop and how close to the target can it hit before I exit, before my trailing stop is triggered. This is like a 10 to 1. Like we'll see in just a moment. Hold on. 1.35721. This is great. I love doing this. Now this is gonna be, I gotta assess the market real quick. So I'm gonna put my crosshair just so I can see. This is about a 30 pip region. Like I said, this is a little bit wide, so this is why I like to scale into trades, and I like to use bigger lot size and trade heavier as the week goes on. So as the market matures, I'll be able to find tighter stops. I'll be able to use bigger lots, but this is my first one, and this is the bread and butter. So this is what's going to make a good amount of the profits, because I can be away from the markets and it literally can go up 100 pips without me even knowing. So I don't want to miss that move and then be like, oh, it's been bullish, and then I get in on a trade and it's congested for, half the week. That happens. So I'd rather get in on that breakout. Breakout trades, you need a wider stop because a lot can happen before it really moves. So that's just a tip. So with a 35 pip stop loss, I need to do a 1/4% risk. So I don't need a calculator. It's very easy for me to calculate. I've been doing this my whole life. Place. So now y'all can see everything's set up, and here we go. I'm risking 116 pips, 1/4%. Now, that's great. Let's see my profit target. Can we see my profit target? 116 pips risk for it's way out here. 232 or $823. So that's like a 7.5 to 1 reward to risk ratio. I love it. It looks great. Amazing. Now before I end this video, and I'm gonna put a video part 2. Just don't have time all in one. Gotta upload this to YouTube and use data. But now I want to show y'all where I'm going to possibly get out if the market goes against me. Like I said, we are at highs. We are at strong resistance. There is a probability of price going against me and stopping me out and possibly moving on to the downside. The only way I would get stopped out these days is if the market is going into a range, or it's taking a pause break before it really moves, or it's really reversing. Those are the only 3 scenarios. I am not stuck in uncertainty. I'm not sitting there wondering what's happening. No, nothing. I just literally been trading long enough. I trade 7 to 10 hours a day. Even on the weekends, I trade 4 to 5 hours on Saturday and Sunday each. So I trade over 50 hours a week, between my simulations, my back testing, my live trading, my swing trading. Even when I come out the gym, I have my phone open and I'm modifying my orders on the 5 minute. Like this is a lifelong thing for me. It's a daily thing. It's like a bloodline. Like just like my heart beats, my trades are always running, or I'm getting ready for the next setup. I don't have to do this, but I enjoy it. I love trading. I love doing this. If you don't have a passion for this, you shouldn't be doing this. But if you have a passion for this, you understand what I'm saying. Like money is always there to be made, and as long as you know how to read price action and trade, you can find opportunities in the market all the time to make money. So moving forward, I want to see UCAD go up. But if worst case scenario happens and we do get rejected, I need to see a lot of sellers come in. So I don't need to just see sellers pop in and drive back down 100 pips. No, I need to see sellers actually pop out, knock me out, and continue on strong. And you see this little old region of buyers right here. I need to see them taken out, and I need to see price drag on back down into this former range. So we need a lot of selling pressure before the market sentiment shifts about 150 pips. So unless there's a black swan event or something, I'm backed up with my buying pressure, like I said. But we need to see a lot of selling pressure. The path of least resistance right now is clearly to the upside, but we have seller stops right here, here, and here. So if these stops are broken, it's going to bring strength, and these buyers are going to be in trouble. It brings the fear into the crowd, and that's not good if you're holding longs for that long. So last week's buyers will be in trouble, and that's where I'll be looking to take price onto the downside, or we could even see a bounce. So that's when I'm going to reassess the market if that does happen. So I hope y'all took a lot from this video. Now I have all my first two trades of the week locked in. As you can see, they are TPSL. Risk a 1/4% each trade, so I'm exposing about 0.5% of my entire account in two swing trades, and I'm looking to gain. Let's just take one last look. This one is about $800, and then this one right here is about gotta put this on the daily because this is so large, but 800 plus where's that TP at? Oh, that's a stop loss. See, when I place my trades, I don't remember. Like it's just so far away, 1,500. So we're looking at a solid 2,300, about that. $2,300 for the first two pairs on my swing trade, and that's about 500. That's about 5%. That's about a 5% account gain, and I'm only risking less than I'm risking a 0.5% to get 5%. So that's a 10 to 1 reward to risk ratio on these two trades. So I hope y'all took some insight from this. And this has been a lot of talking. So I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna come back to part two and I'm gonna upload that. I'm gonna talk about AUD, NZD, Euro USD, and GJ, which is also my watch list. And yeah, I'm gonna break those down shortly. And yeah, we're gonna follow up. Before I go, I'm gonna just play a little bit of music, a little bit of tunes in the background, just to free your mind. And yeah, we're gonna follow up. So hope y'all took a lot from this analysis, and good luck trading this week.